Yeah, in this video, I'm going to talk about the Millennium and how Michael Eckerson is right. Um, there's one resurrection, there's not two, divided by 1,000 years. Proper hermeneutic is the analogy of Scripture. We go to other texts that are a little more clear than, say, Revelation 20 to find our doctrine on the resurrection. But at the end of the Millennium, for me, exegetically and with the recapitulation hermeneutic, instead of taking Revelation sequentially, that it follows, each chapter follows, like the dispensationalists would say, Revelation 6 to 19 is 7 years of the tribulation. But if you take the recapitulation, that Revelation 14 is the same as Revelation 6. The parousia, the coming of chapter 14, the coming of chapter 16, the coming of chapter 6, 11, 19, 20. Is there 6 different comings of the Lord? Is there 2 great earthquakes? Revelation 6, I forget the other one, Revelation 16, I believe. So Revelation recapitulates, and most would take that position, except premillennialists, postmillennialists, all millennialists take this position that recapitulates. So what we have in chapter 20 is what we have in chapter 6, the same parousia of the day of wrath, Revelation 6, 12, and 13. And if you're a partial preterist, like me, we believe that that coming is the same as Revelation chapter 11. The coming there, the kingdom and the resurrection. And it's the same as Revelation chapter 14, the coming there. The harvest of Isaiah chapter 60. The gathering into the land. That we see so many promises in Isaiah and so forth. So in also Revelation chapter 20, we have in verse 8, the war, or the battle, it's translated sometimes, the war, is found in Revelation chapter 19, the war. And it's found in Revelation chapter 16, the war. It's called the aphranatic article, I believe. It's the definite article, but attached to, or it brings back to another chapter. The war takes us back to 19, the war, same as 16. So 16 and 19 are the same as 20. It's not 19, then 20 is something completely different. No, it's the same coming, Revelation 19, Revelation 20. So because of that, that there in the Greek text, that article, aphranatic article, brings us back. That means we have recapitulation in chapter 20 again. So if we do, and we see up to 19 is fulfilled, we have no choice, exegetically or with proper hermeneutic, sticking to a hermeneutic, being consistent with the recapitulation nature of the book of Revelation. Then if we're honest with it, we have to take chapter 20 as ending in AD 70. That's just how it is, because of those two things, the recapitulation nature of the book, and because of the aphranatic article there in verse 8 of chapter 20. So Michael Eckerson is right. The millennium ends in AD 70. It doesn't begin at that time. And that's something I'm currently digging into a little bit more, the millennium. So some random thoughts there.